Beres on the world has to roll again. Yeah. Back to the trails, man. The face of the fight. Yes, my feet get so tired from the soldiers to roam. My body and soul is almost overload. Yes, I need some fresh air. Let me rest for a while. Take the road off my feet before I do another mile.
Greetings and welcome to the 50th episode of Jesse I Interviews. Big shout out to everyone who's supported the podcast so far, whether that be by leaving a 5-star review, sending me an email of encouragement, or especially supporting me on Patreon. Honestly, with the pressures of life, work and family, I reckon this podcast would have just faded away already if it wasn't for the knowledge that I had people on Patreon sending me money every month and making me feel guilty if I wasn't putting anything out. There were definitely a few quiet patches in there, but I feel like I've been a bit more regular with these in recent months, and I'm hoping to get an episode out at least every fortnight next year. Big love out to my longest staying Patreon supporters, the Don Armageddon Time, the Real General Empress Irie, me Idrins Tom Tanaki and me Chargy DJ Pablito. If you'd like to join them, you can become a Patreon supporter for as little as a few bucks a month. Just check out patreon.com/Jesse_I_interviews. As always, I'm recording this podcast on the unceded lands of the Wurundjeri Woi Wurrung people of the Kulin Nation in the city of Naarm, now known to the world as Melbourne, Australia. As with all of this country, this always was and always will be Aboriginal land. This episode features one of the greatest living legends of Jamaican music, the great Beres Hammond. I recorded this via phone back in 2001, and at that time he was one of my absolute favourite singers. 22 years later, he still is. I think of Beres as a real Jamaican singer. His popularity there is phenomenal, even if it doesn't always translate to popularity with wide audiences overseas, at least compared to many other Jamaican artists. But I've long been of the opinion that if you don't appreciate the place that Beres holds in Jamaican music history, you don't truly understand Jamaican music. I know that opinion might put a few people on the defensive, but gotta love Beres. As well as being one of the most important artists in Jamaican music, I feel like Beres is one of the nicest people in the business too. When I recorded this interview, I actually screwed up and somehow lost the entire thing. I can't remember if I forgot to hit record or what. But he was totally cool about it and just happily did the whole thing over again. A year after I recorded this, I made my first trip to Jamaica, and when I was there I made contact with him. I asked if I could come visit him and hang out at his house and his studio in Stony Hill, and he graciously obliged. My friend from Australia, Jah Cure, and I made the trek, and we hung out for about a day and a half, basically just hanging around, having a few beers and a smoke, and getting a feel for what his day-to-day life was like. It was pretty mellow too, I've got to say. In retrospect, he might have thought it was a little weird that two guys from Australia were happy to just hang around his place for so long, but it felt like an honour to me. And it's also where I met Donovan Germain of Penthouse Records, as well as the singer Ginger, and another artist was there called Zooks. One of the things that really stayed with me from that time was Beres saying how every time he touches the road, so any time he drives anywhere, he has to make sure he has plenty of cash in his pockets. Because every time he stops the car, people know who he is, and they're going to ask, and he'll have to give them a thing. I got the feeling he just regarded it as the price you pay for success in Jamaica. It's all well and good to live in your big house on the hill, but you have to look after the people in the community as well. This is one interview I'd really love to do again. Listening back to it now, decades on, I thought of a heap of questions I'd love to ask him. Maybe the next time I get to Jamaica. In the meantime, let's get into it. Jesse I interviews Beres Hammond back in 2001.
To stop a man from trying. I said I wanna know now. What can you do to stop a man from trying? I wanna know, yes I wanna know now. What can you do to stop a man from trying? I wanna know, said I wanna know now. What can you do to stop a man from trying?
Sure.
Alright, can you hear me okay, Beres?
Yeah man, I can hear you.
Alright, good. Okay, and now I'm recording on I'm recording on mini disc and on cassette this time, so hopefully no problems this time around. Alright, so I'll like last time when it didn't work, I'll read this like it's going to air on the radio show here, and then I can edit it up and all that sort of stuff. So bear with me, I'll do a quick intro.
Yeah, man, all right.
With me right now, I have on the line one of the most soulful voices in Jamaican music, a singer that's been at the top of reggae for well over a decade, and one of my personal favourites. Beres Hammond, thank you for joining me here on Chant Down Babylon.
Much love and respect, man.
All right, I always like to start at the beginning, Beres, so I'd like to just ask, whereabouts and when were you born?
I was born in the 50s. I'm a 50s guy.
Right.
I came into the business in the early to mid 70s. Yes.
Right.
I got my real break in 1978.
Okay.
Yeah, with a soul song called "One Step Ahead."
Right. How did the recording of that song come about?
Actually, it was Willie Lindo. He was the one, musician Willie Lindo.
Mm.
Yeah, he was the one who actually introduced me to some people at Halfway Tree. They had a new studio called Aquarius Records.
Right.
Yeah, so he introduced me to them, and they wanted to do a project. So that was actually one of the songs from the project.
Right. Well, before that, how did you get into...
The project later on, anyway, turned out to be the first album called Soul Reggae.
Right.
Yes.
And you were also working with Zap Power around that time, weren't you?
Yeah, during the same time I was with Zappo.
Right. So, just sort of going back a little bit earlier, how did you get interested in singing, or how did you start singing?
Well, my background is a church background,
Right.
where a person like me had to go to about 2 or 3 different churches every week,
Right.
So it's sort of a situation like that where it wasn't out of choice.
Right.
It was compulsory. You had to go to church.
Was that your parents?
So yes.
Right.
So it actually started from there, and then you used to do a little thing in the school also. At the end of when it comes around to holiday time, one had to do a little thing on stage.
Sure.
And from there I realized that I had a little something, just slightly different from the rest of the kids.
Right. So.
And then into the business into the wider world of the business. It was actually on an amateur show called the Meritone Amateur Talent series that I got my real break. I don't remember quite the year yet. It could have been around 74-ish.
Right.
Because that was when I was still in school.
Right.
Yeah, so that was when I got the break. My real exposure.
What sort of tunes would you have been doing back then? That would have been the Roots period, I imagine.
Yes. Well, with Zappo, it's got to be sort of roots.
Sure.
Yes.
Well, of course, your styles these days, you sing... one of the things I love about your music is that you can sing in all different styles and cover all sort of subject matter. You can sing lovers, praises to Jah, sufferers lyrics, and you even do some DJ style,
Yeah, well, what I do is I ever try to keep it real.
Yes.
So once it's inside of me,
yep.
Yeah, I try to bring it out without putting on any ribbons or anything, on the truth.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, how do you... obviously the lyrics deal with a whole wide range of subject matters, but you always sing with conviction and feeling. How do you actually set about writing your songs?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I go into the studio and all kinds of things go through your head. As far as I'm concerned, whenever I hear music, I just get sort of turned on and over and, like my whole world just sort of change.
Yeah.
Once I get into the studio, and I try never to prepare myself for the studio.
Right.
No, I just take it as it comes,
Right. So you don't sit down with a pen and paper and write lyrics.
No, I don't.
Walk into the studio and pure vibes of flow.
Yeah. Yes. When I get into the studio, everything starts just coming back to you.
Hmm.
Whether it's a political thing or it's a family thing or it's love affair between two people or whatever it is, everything just seems to come out in the studio.
Right. Well, what sort of process do you go through in the studio? Do you start with a rhythm track, or do you sort of start singing first and then build the rhythm to fit that?
All different kinds of ways.
Right.
All the different ways you just mentioned, yes. We have no set way of doing things.
Right.
At least not me. You know.
Sure. Well, one of the things, I guess, over your career, you've adjusted and adapted and sung on many different types of rhythms as reggae's changed, the rhythms have changed.
Yes.
What was it like for you through the 80s and the 90s with all those changes as dancehall developed?
Didn't bother me. No.
Right.
Didn't bother me at all because I know I had to be myself.
Sure.
And people here in Jamaica I know of, they sort of appreciate you for being who you are without changing. You know, as long as you keep it positive.
Right.
So that's what I did. You know, so pretty much didn't bother me.
Right.
No.
Well, are there any types
I was a little worried. I was still a little worried anyway about the business. The fact that, you know, the music started changing into a kind of thing that I was really not accustomed to, in as far as music is concerned, you know?
Right.
But then I also know that I have to brace myself to face any little social change. Yes, and survive.
Well, are there any type of rhythms that you prefer singing over? I mean, it seems like you sing over the real rootsy rhythms with the live band sound.
I personally love one drop.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I love the one drop. The original roots rock one drop.
Yeah.
Can never die.
That's right, eternal.
That's right. It's the heartbeat, son.
Well, of course, these days you're running your own studio, Harmony House, which is where you are at the moment. Spend a lot of time there, obviously. Every time I speak to you, you're at the studio. How did that studio come about? How did you set up Harmony House?
It was a dream from a long time. Ever since I came into the business, I thought, you know, every singer, once you're a singer, to myself I thought, you should have a studio.
Right.
Little did I know that, you know, getting a studio would have been such a struggle. But then the thought never came out of my mind, you know.
Right.
And so, by the time everything got manifested, you know, I didn't even realize I had one.
So what is the aim of Harmony House as a studio? I mean, obviously.
Say that again for me, please.
What's the aim of Harmony House? I mean, obviously, it's not just you that records there. You record a lot of young singers as well, I understand.
Yeah, I try to concentrate on, because we here in Jamaica, we have a lot of talent, a lot of music talent, lots, tons of them.
Yeah.
And the outlet really is sort of limited. So I figured that I'd sort of try to dedicate, you know, some of my time, you know, working with guys who I think have talents and not getting the right exposure.
Right.
Or not getting anything done, you know, towards helping them out. So I sort of dedicate a lot of my time doing that.
Right. So give them a chance to come up.
Yes.
Well, one of my all-time favourite artists is Jah Cure, and I believe he got his start at Harmony House.
Yes, true, man. That's one of my favourites, really, too.
Yes, sir. Can you tell me a little about how that came about?
Well, actually, it was Sizzler who introduced him to me.
Right.
One day, before I got the studio started, I was working out at Cell Block Studio.
Right.
And just as I was I was preparing myself to go down there, I saw Sizzler and this little guy, you know.
Right.
So Sizzler introduced him to me as Jah Cure, and they have a song. Presently, you know, they were just working on a song, and it would be wonderful if they could come and lay it down for me. So, you know, without hesitating, I said, as usual, say, come youth, come deal with this figure. We went down and they recorded I and I a King. Yeah, and from then, you know, he figured that that's where he wanted to be.
Right.
Jah Cure. I never had to say anything else to him. I couldn't get him away from me, you know.
Yeah, well,
I really never wanted him to slip away anyway.
Right.
Because every now and then, you know, every quite a few years, you have one voice that comes along, and you know, it just had to be there.
For true, yeah.
Yes, and his voice, as far as I'm concerned, was one of those voices.
Yeah, well, I actually interviewed him a couple of years ago before he went to prison, and I asked him who his favourite singers were, and yours was the first name he mentioned, so it sounded like a good combination.
My youth, man. Good kid, you know?
Yes, sir.
Good kid.
So I understand that you're doing a fair bit of work to try and improve his situation over there at the moment.
Yes, well, we're hopeful that things will work out by next year, you know?
Right.
For him, because it's a shame to see such a talent being locked away, you know, from the public. You know? So we're doing our very best to see, you know?
Right.
If things can work out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, speaking of things working out for you, I've got to say that the album Music is Life came out this year. I've put it down in my end-of-year wrap-up as the best album of the year, without question.
Yeah.
Head and shoulders above the rest.
Man.
It's not very often that for me I get an album that I listen to over and over again and never take off the turntable. But because there's so much so much great music in the world, but this is one album that I've played over and over and over again. And so I just wanted to let you know that. You must be very proud of this album.
Yes, I am. I'm really and truly proud, you know, and getting comments like these, you know, even put me a little bit ahead of even proud, you know, the word proud, just that I can't find out the other word to describe.
Are there any tracks on the album that you're particularly fond of, or anything that stands out, or you just love the whole work overall?
To be honest with you, it's like asking me to choose amongst my children.
Yeah.
You know, and that's a hard one to do. Because you love them in so many different ways. This one has a little quality in him that the other one doesn't have.
Yeah.
But then the other one has something else that this one don't have either.
Yeah, for real.
You know, so you end up loving all of them for what they are.
Exactly. I know what you're saying. There's different tunes strike me at different moods, you know. I'm feeling down, I listen to a song like Gonna Shine Again, and it picks me up, you know?
All right. Now you got me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what have you got in store at the moment? Like, are you working on your next album?
Well, actually, if no, not necessarily, because with the kind of work I do, you know, I can always get up and find an album.
Right.
Because I never stop working.
Sure.
I just constantly work. As I said before, I work with vibes. So it's not like I say, okay, I'm going to do this project here now or the next project. No, it's not like that. It's just I come into the studio. I know that what I have to do is make some songs. And I make songs. And I don't prepare myself as to what subject we're going to take on today.
Right.
I just let myself loose, allow myself to, you know, be open.
Right.
Yes.
Well, your career's obviously taken you to many different places and provided you with many fantastic experience, but are there any high points in your career that stand out for you?
To be honest with you, every time I enter the stage, it's like it's new for me.
Right.
I feel this sense of newness, you know, like it's the first time I'm going to get this opportunity, and to me, like the last time I'm going to get it too.
Right.
So it's always, and to be honest with you, 5 minutes before I enter stage, I feel the same way as I started out.
That's great.
A little bit nervous, a little bit shaky here and there, but as soon as they say Beres Hammond, like a whole transformation start taking place. Yes.
So it never stops being exciting.
No.
That's great to hear. All right, Beres. Well, is there anything, any parting message you'd like to pass on to the Australian Massive?
The Australian Massive, you're so far away, yet you feel so close. I've never been there before, but I've heard so much and so much beautiful things, you know, about the country. I really would have loved to come there someday.
Yeah, well, hopefully
hope it's going to be soon, man.
Yeah, let's hope we can make it happen.
Yes.
All right,
yes,
Beres Hammond.
I've never seen a kangaroo, and I hear they can box good.
You don't want to box a kangaroo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't think I'm going to make one of my boys do the boxes.
Yeah.
One of the first things I'd love to do is, visit the wildlife there.
Mm.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's the first things I'd love to do there.
There is some beautiful wildlife down here. But I mean, I'm looking forward to coming to Jamaica and checking out the beautiful wildlife there as well.
Yes, man, and whenever you come, you just make sure you just get in touch with me right away, son.
Yes, most definitely.
Yes, man. Yes.
All right, Beres. Well, thank you.
Australia, I love Australia. I love you, and I'm looking forward to seeing you all very soon. And keep pumping the reggae vibes. Yes.
Never stop.
Love you.
All right. Thank you very much, Beres, for joining us here on Chant Down Babylon.
Much love and respect to Chant Down Babylon. Keep chanting down.
Yes, I give thanks. All right, Beres. That was really good. That was really good, and we got it all that time.
Yeah, I hope you got it this time.
Yeah. Hey, any chance I could get a couple quick jingles over the phone for the show?
Yeah, it's Chant Down Babylon with?
That's right, with Jesse I.
Jesse I.
That's right, yeah.
Chant Down. And can you ready? Tell me.
All right, yeah, it's recording away, so anytime you're ready.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, man. Remember the songs used to make you rock away. Those were the days when love used to reign. Hey, hey. My name is Beres Hammond, and right now I'm cruising with the Chant Down Babylon program. JCI, go and run things, youth. Love every time.
Oh, wicked, Beres. Wicked.
Yeah.
All right, that was fantastic. And just the one last thing I wanted to ask you, Beres, I mentioned it to you last time. I run a sound system down here, and we're really interested in getting some dub plates. So I was wondering what sort of money or what sort of deal, how do you generally do that sort of thing?
Usually, I don't know what your money's like. I don't know. But in Jamaica, I hope you have a little idea of the money here. Jamaica is about 46 to $1 US.
Right.
But what I do is I charge like 25 grand Jamaican, which would work out to about 600 US.
600 US. Per tune.
Per song.
Right.
Yes.
Right, that's out of our price range at the moment, but we'll keep it in mind for the future.
Don't worry about it. When you're coming down?
To Jamaica?
Yes.
Probably won't be for another year or so yet, I reckon. But yeah, maybe next year.
Yeah, but whatever you want to do, still, you can always get in touch with the office, and I'll set something up for you, man.
Yeah, that'd be wicked.
Yeah, and we do some FedEx or something.
Right, okay. Yeah, that'd be sweet.
So you just talk to the office, give them the information, and I'll see what we can hook up for you, man.
Right, yeah, we'll definitely do it in the future, but at the moment the Australian dollar is so weak, it's about half the US dollar, so
no worry about it, Simmer. We can still hook up something, man.
All right.
It's got to be done. Yeah?
Wicked. All right, well, thanks again, Beres. It's a real honor to speak to you. Like I said, I've been listening to nothing but Beres, for the last ages, So keep up the great works, and I'll keep in touch, and I'll keep promoting your music down under.
Yeah, man. Much love, man.
All right. Thanks again, Beres.
Right, cool.
Okay, goodbye.
I'm not in a hurry. Soon I left the things that I needed so bad. Morning sun rising behind me. Stars at nights come out to remind me to give thanks for all of the things that I have.
Beres Hammond speaking to me there back in 2001. I did end up voicing a dubplate with Beres back in 2002 when I was at his house and home studio. For a while I thought he was going to give it to me for free too, but in the end I think I paid around 300 US, so a lot less than the 600 he quoted me there at the end. It was still more money than I'd ever paid for a dubplate at the time. 100% worth it though, and it's a hell of a lot less than he charges these days too, I have to say. That's it for this one. Thanks for listening through to the end, and thanks again to those that have stuck with me through to the first 50 episodes. Eyes as every time.
Yeah man, me a say Zooks, and me a say internationally acclaimed. Chant down gone upon the wall of fame. with who? You like Jesse I, Rush Crucial. You don't know said gone international now. Mr. Beres Hammond.
Yeah. Oh, ay, 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 ay. Chummy say boy, yo, 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 yeah. Oh, ay, 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 ay. Oh, yeah. Some things were meant to be, yes. What's to be just gotta be. Well, chant down, don't worry about it, no. As long as we know what's in our hearts, hey. We know our enough thoughts, yeah. No reason for concern. They're gonna talk, they're gonna talk, they're gonna talk, they're gonna say a lot of things about us, yes. And we know that dub is not a sin, no. We just love to hear the people sing, say, chant down, you are the champion, yes. You the crowd of people sing, say, chant down, you gonna kill one, yes. You the crowd of people sing, say, chant down, you charge for murder now. You the crowd of people say, yes. Now you pass them on the streets, yeah. They'll greet you with a smile, as broad as Nile, and they'll say all kinds of goody to you, yes. Chant down, don't pop style, no. Sound boy, within a little while, you're gonna walk, you're gonna talk, you're gonna chant, you're gonna say a lot of things about us, yes. But plain original dubs is not the same. You're gonna hear the crowd of people sing, say, chant down, you charge for murder now. Hear the crowd of people sing, say, chant down, you are the champion, yes. Hear the crowd of people sing, say, chant down, you're gonna kill one, yes. Hear the crowd of people say, yes. Oh, ay, 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 ay. Chummy say, boy, yo, 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 yo. Oh, ay, 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 ay. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, ay, 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 ay. Jesse me say, boy, yo, 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 yeah. Oh, ay, 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 ay. You're gonna hear the crowd of people sing, say, chant down, you are the champion, yes. Hear the crowd of people sing, say, chant down, you charge for murder now.